at an ice cream shop. Later would grow up and deliver a eulogy at his memorial service. That's how close they were and became. Here we start the fourth with Pollard taking the toss. And he's still able to fall forward with Barton on him for about a gain of 6. Of course, there's new ownership with Washington. Josh Harris coming out and saying that he will evaluate at the end of the season before he makes any changes going down the road. Ron Rivera, the head coach, who I have great admiration for everything about him. He took over a very toxic situation in Washington, battled cancer, has been twice the NFL Coach of the Year. And dump it off to Pollard, who caught it on the ground for only 1.
And I agree with you. Like, anybody who's been around the NFL knows how good of a coach Ron Rivera is. Special human being. I mean, he treats everyone with respect. He's demanding, and I think, to me, he's done a really good job. He's also in one of the toughest divisions in ball. You think about it. I know the Giants aren't great this year. They made, last year they had a great year, but you have the Cowboys and the Eagles, 2 Super Bowl contending teams. It's just going to be hard, but they haven't made that leap right to ensure.
Pass on 3rd down, incomplete right at the 1st down mark.
You've got to give Washington a ton of credit. This is one of those situations where do you kick the field goal here and go up 13, Jim? I would.
Yeah, I think they are. They're going to go field goal here. Look at this. Schoonmaker try to make the play. Oh, the rookie from Michigan unable to hold on.
Yeah, and this one, Dak ends up making the Mike point where we say, center, go to the right. Mike's over here. And Washington fooled him by coming to the left. Give Del Rio credit.
I'm going to give you a stat you won't believe. Maybe you saw it in graphic form. After the kick from 52 yards, it's Aubrey. He has not missed a field goal attempt to start his career.
You didn't do that before. You didn't. Not on Thanksgiving.
Touchback on the way. I just want to acknowledge a happy Thanksgiving to our chairman, Sean McManus, this Thanksgiving Day. Sean and Tracy and family, we wish you all a very happy Thanksgiving. This will mark his last Thanksgiving as the chairman of CBS Sports, with David, his successor, as of Masters Monday, the day after the Masters.
Well, he is a legend in this industry, and he's the guy who took a chance on me. Going right to be with you. Thank you, Sean.
And I'm grateful for that myself, my friend. It's been a great ride. Years to go. 1st and 10. Oh my goodness, that is tough. What a double whammy. That's Parsons. Parsons finally able to get to him, and Fowler also. You can feel it up here.
Wow, this was an outstanding rush by Parsons. I want to bring Gene in here and ask him right there at the end if
it's a legal hit, Tony, because he's not in a passing posture. He's bracing for contact, and the defender does not initiate contact with the crown of his helmet. Everything legal there, very physical, though.
Well said, Gene.
11th sack of the season for Parsons. 2nd and 17. Howell right back on his feet and almost throws a pick as Bell jumped the route. I saw the defender coming across, and I thought that must be Bland. Because we see this so many times, but it was Bell.
I want you to watch him. This is a linebacker. Came from safety. He's patient, and then when he bursts, he almost had a pick 6 right there. This is a steal they found. And every time he gets more experience, Jim, he is so fast. This is as fast a defense as I've seen this year. In the front 7, they run like defensive backs.
And of course, without Leighton Vander Esch done for the year, they've had to find new parts. He's stepped up. 3rd and 17. Coming after Howell, unloads it. And it's caught just a yard short of the first by Pringle.
Do you go for this?
With 12.5 to go?
I'd go for it.
Why not?
And I would get shotgun again for sure.
Yeah, I know you would.
No,
I know you don't mean that.
Going for it. Get under center here. You have the ability to run it inside, outside, but also right or left. When you're in shotgun, you're almost telling them you only got one way to run with the back offset. If you get the right look here, Jim, I would run it. If they load up the box and get everyone in there, I would use that to your advantage and fake it.
One up top. No chance. Cowboys dump him back at the 23. Hankins for the second time today.
The sticky coverage, unbelievable job passing it off on the outside by Bell and Lewis, and that makes him double clutch. But shotgun, Jim, there's only one way to run it. You can only run it that way. And Dallas sends the pressure from that way in case it was a run. And they're sitting on the routes.
That's the second 4th and 1 stop of the half. That's been the story of this half. The Cowboys defense not allowing them to pick up that short yardage.
You give away what you have to cover or what you have to defend when you're in shotgun.
Pollard has to drive low. He's got a yard or two.
I want everything at my disposal on huge plays, right? So to me, it's a two-way go. Quarterback can run if you do a bootleg or fake it and then keep it. You can throw it or run it. But the other part is when you're under center, Jim, you can run it anywhere, right, left, inside, outside. When you're in shotgun, you can't give the ball to the back and then go back to the same side. He has to go the other way. And defenses can eliminate a side, and that gives them an advantage, in my opinion.
It's made the difference. Otherwise,
how many of you seen
Commanders could have been right there.
Exactly right. This could be a 3-point game if they were converted.
2nd and 9. Prescott pass. Cooks brought down immediately by St. Juice. Going to be 3rd and a long one.
That's a great throw by Dak rolling left, but outstanding job by Cooks to keep the leverage inside. Good defense on the back end. At 25s, St. Juice.
If you're able to hold them to just a field goal, it's still a 2-score margin. So the Commanders need a stop of their own in short yardage.
You get the motion to see who's running with them if it's man or zone.
All kinds of time for Dak. Going to the end zone. Touchdown. C.D. Lamb. And the Cowboys have opened this up.
What a route by C.D. Lamb. He is destroying man-to-man. You can't do it. Watch this. He's going to go in here. Oh! And you got to break the leverage. And he used that little push at the top. He's slowly turning. I want you to watch the outside. Look to your right. Look at the O-line in here, actually. Look at this time. You can't throw this ball. No one's around him, Jim. I mean, that's why they can win the Super Bowl. There's no internal pressure. And you can wait for triple move, double moves, triple moves. The Cowboys can win the Super Bowl, Jim.
They're going for 2. Pollard.
Man or zone. He comes across. No one came with him. It's zone. You know that.
Pollard again, going to shift back to the other side. Prescott looks, fires back to the end zone. No, didn't have the second foot down. CD.
It was a perfect example of that type of situation.
I'm glad we got you here because that was a tough one to call. Only you can see those unique.
We've made this a very easy day for you, but that was a pretty obvious one.
It was. You know? It was. And look, I don't mind having easy days in the ref room or here live with you guys. That's for sure.
What's the ref room?
The ref room.
You guys have like a room?
We'll bring it to you sometime, Tony.
I would
get
love
a
to be
chance.
part of that crew.
Yes, yes.
Nance has a room. It's usually in a clubhouse.
Yeah, right. You can always build one in that house of yours, Tony. You got everything else.
Sure, I'm going to call it the ref room.
Ref room.
That's usually what I do. Actually, my wife is the ref room. She's like, go to bed, kids. Stop beating up your little brother.
And then she addresses Hawk and Rivers and Jonesy. 1st and 10. Here's Howell with the completion for a first down.
They're going to be in the 2-minute mode now. It's a muddle huddle, so you're not going lightning speed, but you're definitely not going to huddle up. You got to get a score before the 6-minute mark. I would say 7 would be ideal, but
well, that's a nice pass to McLaurin. Took a little bit off of that one. Howell is now at about 263 yards, 263 to this point. That goes for 24.
I mean, look at the difference for a quarterback. I mean, he's throwing with somebody in his face on almost every throw, and that's what happens when you play against Dallas. Why you have to use your legs, or you got to get the ball out. But that's why the matchups, you have to win one-on-one. McLaurin's done that really well throughout his career. And Outstanding on that one.
From the 41 of Dallas. A pass almost picked. Oh, that was almost in the hands of Donovan Wilson.
So watch this. Go ahead and roll it and get ready to pause. The corner at the top. Pause right there. Young quarterbacks, you got a high-low. They always look short to throw deep. And the older you get, you look deep and get yourself, you throw short and you end up getting 10, 12 yards instead of 14. But they're always trying to fit it in behind. Make them go back with your eyes and throw it underneath.
Cowboys have not picked Howell today. They're winless this year when they do not have an interception. They're 0-3. 7-0 with a pick. And target again, this time to McLaurin. His fourth grab.
He really is an outstanding receiver. He has it all. He's got speed. He's got instincts. Got a great burst, and he gets in and out of his cuts very quickly.
You know what he's done his first 5 years of his career? He's led the team in receiving and receiving yards 5 years in a row. It's pretty stout. 3rd and 3. There he is again. Oh, the ball comes out. And a 4th down play coming up again.
That's a really good route to flatten it. You got to keep going flatter because Gilmore's right there, but just drops it. Ball goes through his hands, maybe a little hot with the throw, but it was a good spot.
Curtis Samuel comes into the huddle.
I'm not saying the game's on the line. I'm just saying the game's on the line.
Yeah. If you weren't going to say it, I was going to say it. I'm just saying.
Just saying. Man to man, you're going to get it. One-on-one, motion them down. That way they got to get back. And right out of the break, let it go. Right now.
Here's the pass, and it's off the mark. Got a flag down. I'm hearing there's a flag. I don't see it.
They picked it up. I saw it. Yeah,
okay.
He accidentally dropped it from his pocket.
So no flag, no call, and again turned over on downs for the 3rd time in this half. The NFL on CBS streams live on Paramount Plus all season long through Super Bowl 58, including this weekend's must-see doubleheader. Try it for free.
But it comes down to the offensive line. If everyone communicates and they know what you're doing, in the NFL, it's no different than anything. If you took a high school team going against a middle school team, they would big guy you, right? They're just more physical. This Cowboy team up front, they're unbelievable. This might be the best offensive line in the league.
2nd and 8. Dowdle gets it. Dowdle had a touchdown early in this game. He's got to pick up of around 3. Well, we mentioned the Eagles a couple of times, and we're keeping an eye on this. Of course, what a win that was for them on Monday night at Kansas City. They're the top seed right now, and that was a surprising performance today up in Detroit. Green Bay beating the Lions. You got the 49ers are going to be such a threat come playoff time. Saints lead the NFC South.
I mean, right now it's a 4-team race, right? Philadelphia, Detroit, San Francisco, and Dallas. Those are the 4 that I think can come out of the NFC, and they're all Super Bowl worthy. They're complete football teams.
Cowboys will have the Eagles here December the 10th. There's Dak down the middle. He's got Cooks for the touchdown. Oh, it's Turpin. My goodness, Turpin gets the deep ball this time. Devontae Turpin.
Yeah, the speed looked just like Cooks. I thought the same thing. And look at that.
Oh, he's going to do the old Zeke play.
Zeke in Zeke fashion. Runs right through the defense. And that's not the guy you're thinking. They play Tampa 2, which means Curl, the middle linebacker, has to run out of there. But there's the turkey leg, yeah. Is that the mama turkey or the baby turkey? Dak told Tracy to start the day he wanted to get a turkey leg.
Extra point is good. Turpin left TCU as the #1 return specialist in Horned Frog school history. Was the MVP of the USFL back in 2022, playing for New Jersey. That's his 3rd touchdown catch of the season, plus a rush touchdown. And Dak, yeah, this is tasting pretty good right now.
It is, and he hasn't had it. He's already eaten it because he knows he's going to get the turkey leg after this. And what a great job by him, looking, pump faking, and then firing that ball. And Curl, 31, did a poor job of getting back into his responsibility by reading the quarterback, and Dak moves him with his eyes. And boy, they've had so many big plays today.
Look at this. Jump in. Remember when Zeke used to do this?
Yes. They're doing it for you, Zeke. That's why. But we lost him. Turpin, come on back out. You're eating it a little early, Dak, but there's a good chance he's not playing anymore today.
Well, Dak with 331 yards and 4 touchdowns. Dallas, yeah, family style. That's well said.
Wow. That might be the most touchdowns on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I can remember one quarterback, another number 9, who had 5 touchdown passes against Tampa on Thanksgiving Day.
That's a good point.
My memory serves correctly.
How good is this football team? They are, I'm telling you, watching the tape, they are better now after the bye. Complete football team right now, Jim.
Yeah, he did go early after the leg, but he deserves it. Coming up, State Farm postgame show. Gonna have all the crew going through the highlights of this game and the Green Bay Detroit game coming up on the State Farm postgame show. We're gonna also hand out some awards to a couple of deserving players. You know the story we heard the other day with Dak, that first time he was about to get the post-game interview, he thought he was going to get a turkey leg. It wasn't there. He got some sort of trophy instead. He wanted the turkey leg.
He did. He's like, I want to play good enough to get that turkey leg. And he got it earlier. It's the first time I've ever seen someone get it before the game's over. He deserves it today.
Well, he's getting a little start early on his Thanksgiving dinner because he celebrates on Friday, he told us. With turkey and rice and gravy, that's his favorite combination. We're going to have a big gathering at home with family and friends. A little sidearm flip, and ball is out. It's never caught.
Well, the thing is, see how they attack down the field, Jim? Like, that's different than early part of the year, and that's why I want to give Mike McCarthy a ton of credit, because he adjusted. And teams are having trouble because they keep attacking down the field. And you don't realize that you can't attack down the field if you don't have time. And they're able to take 2 hitches, 3, wait. They don't even have to do play actions with it. They're able just to drop back and do double moves on the outside with not hitch and goes, but like out and ups by 15-yard sail routes.
3rd and 7, Howell. That ball is caught. I believe it's deflected.
What just happened?
It was deflected off the hands of Wilson and then caught by Cole Turner. We had a couple plays like this today. Look at this. I don't know where it was going otherwise. I guess it was going to Brown. So they'll hurry up to the line after that gain of 29 on 3rd and long. Howell over the head of everybody. He's had exactly 300 yards passing today. This is Sam Howell. Let's go to Trace.
Guys, I have the story as to how that turkey leg wound up in the kettle. Tight end Jake Ferguson all week talked about it, saying we have to put a turkey leg in the kettle. We have to put a turkey leg in the kettle. And then the start of the 4th quarter, they decided, okay, we're going to do it. Dak knew it was there. And as you mentioned it, he wanted to take a bite of that turkey leg. So as soon as they scored the touchdown, he went fishing for it.
Now,
Tracy, were you down there? I can't help but think he looked over at you to say, I told you.
Yeah, gave me a little wink.
2nd and 10. There it is. This is history. If Bland can take it the distance, this will be the record. Bland for the 5th time has a pick 6. It's never happened in the history of the NFL.
And what a call by you. You got me with goosebumps, Nance. That was unbelievable. History was made here on Thanksgiving. Not good history for Howell. You feel bad for the quarterbacks always, but wow, he has great instincts. His decision making of when to just adjust and turn and go, it's next level, and that is the record in the history of the National Football League. Well deserved, Bland. That is a cool moment for the Cowboys defense, and you saw how excited Quinn was, the defensive coordinator.
5 pick sixes in one season.
I mean, we know Deion Sanders, right? Best of all time. I wanted someone to look up what Deion Sanders' pick sixes in his career were. He might have 35.
I believe he had 9. Had the pleasure of working with Deion for a long time in our NFL Today studios. But this kid had one last week, DeRon Bland against Carolina, and look at him here, break the record that he shared with 2 others coming into the day.
But look at this. This is the instincts right here. Almost everybody else would be tackled. I mean, that's like a running back or a high-level Christian McCaffrey run after catch. He breaks on the ball. He's got great vision and instincts. In zone, he's as good as I've seen this year.
By the way, he had the record at 4, tied with Eric Allen, who you remember from the Eagles back in '93, and Jim Kearney of Houston back in '72. And by the way, I just confirmed Deion had 9 in his career.
Oh, you're right. And Rod Woodson actually has the record at 12. But if you give Bland another year, he might be close. 12 and 9 is an incredible career, but to have 5 in a season, look at this. Get in there. All right, guys, come on. Someone pick me up. Get me out of here. Get me out of here. All right. Coach McCarthy knows how cool of a moment that is. And you don't break records in the history of the NFL very often.
And you still got 6 games to play on the season. You know, nobody's going to be able to put an asterisk and say, well, you had a 17th game. Now,
that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because you're right. Yeah, the asterisk. I know what you're saying. He did it in 11 games.
Even for those that had 14 game schedules.
Yep.
He's done it in game 11.
You think he'll start next year?
Yeah, I mean, of course, Diggs gets the chance to play.
That's what I was just thinking.
Hurt.
Like,
yeah.
Gilmore, Diggs. They have a unique. They have unique depth, Jim. It's amazing. They plug another guy, Bell, at linebacker after Van Der Esch goes out. They just keep the next guy up. It's unbelievable.
45-10. Just blew this open once the Commanders were unable to cash in on some short yardage situations. State Farm post-game show again comes up right after the game. Dallas has scored 25 points in the last 8 minutes and 57 seconds.
I still can't believe you got Deion. You just said it off the top of your head. For those of you who don't know Jim Nance, he has numbers.
I don't know why some of that stuff sticks, but
you know what's
he's
funny?
a friend, and you remember what your friends do.
Yep.
Just like I remembered your 5 touchdowns against Tampa on Thanksgiving Day.
He knows the game, and he's super talented. By the way, isn't that crazy? Like, Howell going into that actually played a pretty good football game. You know what I mean? It's like against a really good defense. He had no turnovers. He was like 28 for 40, 28 for 43, and 300 yards. You know, just was like the defense really lost this for Washington today. They just could not stop this Cowboy offense, and the Cowboys even missed on like 4 or 5 big plays they could have had. A couple early, a couple other ones, but Dak's definitely the MVP today. He did play an outstanding game.
2nd and 7. And the pile moves out for a gain of about 4. By the way, the 5 interception returns for touchdowns by Bland this season. It also, by the way, makes him the career leader in Cowboy history for pick sixes with 5. Now, you talk about some of the great defensive backs. I'd love to rattle off all the names that were meaningful to me as a kid growing up, but there's so many legendary names.
I mean, you got to go back 2 years for Diggs, 3 years. It's like,
but I'm going back.
Yeah, I'm saying like they've had history. Like, you got to remember Deion played for them too. It's like, there's so many guys, and that's crazy to set a record like that through 11 years.
3rd and 4. I'm going back to. I'll take his jersey number 26, Herb Adderley. Okay.
You will. You do know him.
Everson Walls.
You know, that is the marrying of the front and the back end, though, too, right? He is incredibly gifted. And if you put him on a different team, maybe he only has 3 or 4 pick sixes.
Yeah.
But when you know and you play defensive back with a front like this, and a scheme like this, you start to understand the timing of everything, and he does that better than most.
Mel Renfro, Cornell Green.
Oh, you are
Safeties like
you are
Charlie
going
Waters,
you are
Cliff Harris. Yeah, I couldn't help myself.
You have to. Those guys deserve it.
Yeah,
They were
brought a
incredible.
lot of great memories in my youth. As that ball's run out to the 50-yard line. Bill Bates. As Rodriguez with the carry that time. Played on Thanksgiving Day. First time they hosted Washington was in 1968. This is the 11th time Washington's been the opponent. And they're about to go to 2-9 when they've had to travel to Dallas on this holiday. All right, Tracy, down to you.
Jim, you guys were talking about this opportunistic defense since Dan Quinn's arrival here in 21. His defense has had 84 takeaways, which leads the league. I asked him the secret to his success. He said, well, he first got here, he placed a premium on finding guys who had college production of getting the ball. He felt if they did it in college, they would have it in them in the pros. And then he works at it throughout the week in practice. They use 4 jugs machines. They talk about it, who to hit, who's vulnerable. They meet on tackling. They meet on takeaways. He said it is their oxygen. It is life for them. They breathe it. It's why they've had such success.
They are an amazing unit. They do embody the spirit of their coordinator. Thank you, Tracy. And great job today. And happy Thanksgiving to you and David and those 3 wonderful boys of yours. As we're down to about 50 seconds to go.
Well, we know about Bland and his pick sixes this year. I mean, you got to remember the 2 previous seasons, Jim, this defense led the league in takeaways back-to-back seasons. Usually if you lead it, you take a fall off because it seems random sometimes to people. And that was the first time since the 72 Steelers, and we know how dominant that group was. This group is writing their own story right now.
Yeah, it's a doomsday 2.0.
It is. Let's come up with it. Come on, you got 20 seconds. Give us the new name.
I think that's it. Why not?
It's the takeaway, the kids, the intercepted.
Yeah.
I'm not really good in the writing aspect. I'm more of like the reading.
I still think doomsday works.
It is.
Second generation.
You don't want to play against this team. And I'll tell you what, you definitely don't want to play against Dallas at Dallas.
Well, they've done it again. Same script all year at home. 13 games in a row, 1 at home, 5-0 this season, all of them in blowouts. Updated NFC playoff picture. Dallas goes to 8-3. There you see it. Again, Philadelphia hosting Buffalo on Sunday. Our main doubleheader game here on CBS with the best record right now in the league.
The takeaway boys. Got a chance.
Not bad.
The takeaway boys.
See if that gets some lives. You did some